Stages of development and foreign influence on the independence movement show their background through rigorous historical sources studied to understand the development of a new thought and orientation of the nation, loaded with great resistance and the influence of other nations. The representation of the events reveals the tireless struggle of those who offered their lives with the desire for freedom. Thus, it is evident in the photographic sources the expression of pain and repression of the Koreans in the face of acts of violence, torture and mistreatment perpetrated by the Japanese in different places where the independence movement fought for their rights. Women were the object of much of this mistreatment and violence. We also find the fifth exhibition hall, entitled Patriotic Struggle for National Independence, in which the history of the anti-Japanese armed resistance inside and outside the country is preserved. The armed actions were of great importance, especially in the region of Manchuria, where the establishment of a provisional government would begin and decisions would be made on the course that the great Korean nation would later take. On the other hand, the sixth hall, entitled Establishing Great Korea, is one of the most wonderful spaces in the museum. This hall includes the National Culture Protection Movement, the People's Independence Movement, and the Provisional Government of Korea. The simulation of the Provisional Government of Korea's facilities and actions is very important when it comes to understanding its desire to liberate and form an independent cultural identity. The participation of the Korean people itself is evident there. Women, peasants, and workers are part of the testimonies of resistance and of the cultural and historical preservation of the nation. Finally, the last exhibition hall is an interactive and historical learning experience entitled The Hall of the Experience of the Independence Movement. This hall covers the different anti-Japanese independence movements, making it possible for any visitor to become an independence activist or a member of the Provisional Government of Korea. A unique experience that produces a feeling of nostalgia, but at the same time of strength and reflection. Outside, the museum also has large and important monuments such as the Great Hall of the Nation, where the statue of indomitable Koreans is located in the center and as a symbol